to the Startup Pitch Competition. Thank you. Also known as the sexiest session of the summit, by the way. So, as you can see, we have some amazing sponsors. We have great organizers, 7 Capital, 7 Camp. We are all happy to be here. But this Startup Pitch Competition is also brought to you by UAtech. Who is here has not heard about UAtech? Can you raise your hand? Who has not heard about UAtech? Well, let's get introduced. My name is Yuliya. I'm Strategic Advisor at UAtech, and we are a Ukrainian organization that is helping startup founders, especially Ukrainian startup founders, helping boost their reputation on the global scale and build new connections. So what we do, we conduct pitch competitions where we give an additional chance, an additional platform for startup founders to shine and to meet great people like you are. So we are very happy to be here today and to do this pitch competition together with the 7 Capital and bring to you all the amazing startups from the defense industry. So what do we have for you today? In the past couple of weeks, we received a number of applications, out of which we have selected 11 startups that will be pitching for you. And, my dear audience, the startups that you will be seeing today, they're not only imagining the future, they are building the future on the ground, in the air, in the space, and also online. You will see some great ideas in some groundbreaking technologies. So everything from the autonomous drones to counter-drone systems to AI-powered cybersecurity and, well, actually I will not tell you much more because they will be pitching in front of you. We have a mix, a very interesting mix for you of Ukrainian and European-based startups. Some of the Ukrainian founders could not be with us today as they are literally on the battlefield, and we admire their courage, but I would like to thank every startup and every founder who's with us. Thank you for your time. We are happy to be here, and we are about just to begin. So let's give our founders a round of applause to encourage them. And this is how we're going to rock and roll today. So every startup will come on the stage and they will have 3 minutes to pitch. After the pitch, after the 3 minutes are over, I will get up and I will start clapping. And when I start clapping, you guys start clapping. Do we need to rehearse or you kind of get the gist? I hope you do. At least by 11th startup, I hope we'll get there. After the 3 minutes of the pitch, each startup will have 2 minutes for Q&A. So, dear audience, everyone is welcome to ask the questions. They will have 2 minutes if you want to use some props, slides, everything is in your power. Now, the startups will be evaluated by the panel of judges. So we have selected some very interesting personalities, great investors. They will be using UAtech app to evaluate the startups based on these criteria. And why we're doing all this? Of course, we will be finding out who will be the winners. And today we'll recognize startups in 3 categories. We'll recognize the best Ukrainian funded startup, the pitch competition winner, and also the audience choice. You're right, so every one of you will have a chance to vote for the startup you like the most. So be here until the 11th one. All the startups will receive gifts from our sponsors, from a company called Spendbase. They will receive 25K in AWS credits. By the way, Spendbase is also a Ukrainian startup, so it's great to see startups supporting startups. And exclusive VIP dinner. And we'll see, maybe someone will even be seated at my table. Let's see. Are you guys ready? Startups, are you ready? Let's begin. And to kick off our session, I would like to invite our first startup, Saloma Avionics. Dear investors, if the app is not working or you have any questions, please raise your hand and we'll assist you right now. And Saloma Avionics, we begin.
Any more investors to help vote?
Sorry. So hi everyone, we are Solomon Avionics, we're a UK company, but half of our team is actually from Ukraine. We have veteran soldiers on our side who are actually military pilots. We use them as a valuable link back to the Ukrainian military, and we often exchange with them the ideas and the thoughts, and we get the feedback from the battlefield as well. We do that to identify the pain points and the gaps. Most of them is the fact that it's very difficult to procure the products, and then once you procure them, it's very difficult to use them, sometimes to scale them. So we think we are in a unique position. We have some advantages to make sure that we can deliver on those promises, because we're a full stack company. We have both hardware and software and AI development in-house, and that way we can make sure that the products we build are easy to use, easy to scale, easy to procure, but they're also part of the same ecosystem.
Speaking about the Soloma ecosystem, the Soloma app enables a relatively small number of operators to manage a fleet of hundreds or even thousands of UAVs. We employ AI both on device and in the cloud to allow sensors, video images to be fed back from those devices and put onto the map as points of interest and threat detections. This supports both defensive and responding directly to threats. In terms of defensive capabilities, we have the Soloma Herald. This is a long-range UAV with vertical takeoff and landing capability. It's built to support a modular payload system, so mission profiles such as cargo delivery, search and rescue reconnaissance, and even electronic warfare. AI is applied here to enable automated mission planning and also adaptive mission planning during flight in response to battlefield conditions. In terms of responding to threats, we have the Soloma Ballista, which Angus is modeling for us here. This is a high-speed, cost-efficient to produce UAV interceptor. Currently, the demand for these in Ukraine is incredibly high. We think potentially several thousand units a month is what Ukraine needs to respond to the current threats. We have units on the ground in Ukraine on the waiting list for these devices to become available to them.
And then speaking about the revenue models, very simple really, because we're a hardware and a software company. Hardware is being sold up front with high-ticket targets and high-ticket products such as Herald that you've already seen. This is a smaller ticket item, but it will be sold at much higher volume, of course, because it's a one-way attack drone that will be spent. We also have a recurring model for our app that can be sold as a subscription, and all of the models that we train in-house using our strategic alliances with several companies to produce the best model that can be all updated over the year. In terms of the milestones, we already achieved success in airfield tests and prototypes, and some of them already shipped to Ukraine with some good results. And later this year, we're looking to deliver on those letters of intent for the Herald, which is a big ticket item, and we're looking to improve all of the models as well.
Thank you so much. In case you forgot, we're Soloma Avionics. We're building a cohesive UAV defense platform, full stack from airframe to AI. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you guys, and we start with the Q&A.
Sure. Any questions?
Dmytro, maybe you have a question.
What about numbers? What are your sales? What is your revenue so far?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, we do have a couple of products we've already sold. Some of them, especially the electronic warfare module that can go on Herald or can be used or deployed just by itself. We sold about 5,000 of those because they're a relatively small size, but they can be scaled up to be larger to cover a larger band as well. That brought us enough revenue to sustain our R&D and all the initial stages of development, including materials for the airframes, because we designed them ourselves in-house as well. So that really what fuels financially our model so far. So we're kind of self-sustaining, but we're looking for more money to be able to scale up and also to be able to reach into international markets and potentially to NATO-allied countries as well.
Thank you.
How do you relate your market size and what is your target market?
Yeah, so because again we both hardware and software, we have a pretty large market size. It's obviously currently mostly defense oriented, but we have two additional letters of intent from British and European farmers for the Herald, because it can be used as a dual-use technology as well in agriculture by dispersing the chemicals and some other things. We have some demo videos so we can show on how this is actually achieved in the field. And we have in the pipeline essentially a module for agriculture as well. We feel that AI kind of fits a nice place in this system because it allows us to use some of these drones and planes as well autonomously, and which essentially reduces the workload for the farmers and for the defense contractors in the same way. And both of those demographics, they can benefit from less training spent on using these features, and that's how we use large language models on our.
Clear. The last question about team. So what is the share of the engineers in your team and the other people, and how many people?
Yes, that's a great question. So we have essentially half our team are from Ukraine, another half is from the UK.
Thank you, guys. This was our first startup. It's never easy to be the first one, so thank you. Let's give a round of applause to Solomon. Guys, please do respect the time so that everyone has a chance to speak. And we are moving forward to our next startup, which is NS Robotics. Let's welcome them on the stage. Quite an entrance.
So thank you very much for having us. This is Yuliya, CEO at UAtech Robotics, and today I will tell you the story how cybersecurity AI is revolutionizing European cyber sovereignty. This story starts in September 2025, where allegedly, reportedly attributed this Chinese state-backed group basically performed autonomously or semi-autonomously 80 to 90% of a real-world attack targeting niche 2 sectors. This is critical infrastructure, banking, associated organizations, and governments as well. This is the first documented case of a nation-state allegedly weaponizing AI. And when nation-states weaponize AI, they respond at the speed of CAI. Our technology is based on extensive research, automates cybersecurity in 50+ companies today, and has more than 50,000 users worldwide. It is no longer an arms race in cybersecurity, it's an AI against AI. Real-world telemetry data in Ukraine, the picture system are kind open source being used to compromise a target system within seconds, building cybersecurity tools on the go, on the fly. What takes humans days in specialized tooling, our system delivers in seconds. Our cyber defense capabilities emerge naturally out of our civil use client base, and we are here to propagate within cyber defense. Kyle delivers cyber superiority in comparison to other market competitors and best humans. We rely upon our private-oriented LLM that is on-premise ready. We can deploy in critical infrastructure. We deliver uncensored, unmatched, and unlimited cybersecurity capabilities for the real cybersecurity world. We are use case ready. We are European, and we are pretty simple when it comes to a business model. Our open source technology was born to propagate and to be adopted. We leverage upon the community to deliver the best professional services on top, on API basis access to our model. And we are capable to deliver these services to B2G and to enterprise tier clients in critical environments. Gaining speed at the speed of, gaining cyber superiority at the speed of AI. It means that we are living in a world where AI is the new electricity and cybersecurity is the safety switch. Thanks for having us.
Perfect timing. Let's start with the Q&A.
I'm here to take questions.
And team, we also have the mics in the back. May I ask some volunteers to take the mics and pass them around if there are some questions in the back?
So who are the actual customers who are paying you money from the government side, and what exactly are they paying for?
So we are, I have some backup slides, so that won't work. This is the team that delivers, by the way. So we are serving today B2G, basically public administration in delivering these civil use cases. We are also exploring, upon initial conversation, this engagement with MODs. This is because we've been selected by NATO, basically and essentially to grow in these cyber defense applications. This is not something that we have actively explored in the past, and we have to be totally honest, but we have to state that this AI application in the cyber defense ecosystem is pretty natural and pretty demanding, as well as we serve some clients that today deliver to defense. So we are not directly delivering to them, but our clients do.
Just about business model, the question from my side. So you said that you have like a, so I'm taking from your side, but how actually you monetize your business model? How you plan to?
Yes, correct. So thanks for the question. So technology, Kai technology is open source. You can download and start using today. You have to configure your own LLMs, and you can start basically trying it out for non-commercial applications, of course. What you deliver in exchange to us is telemetry, data. And this data allow us to train the best models. No, we are selling a professional tier subscription for cybersecurity practitioners, 350 per month and per user. On top of that, what we deliver to critical clients is a full on-premise deployment, different pricing totally, and that comes with a yearly license per seat.
Thank you so much, and that's the voice, everyone. Thank you. Guys, I announced that there will be prizes for the winners of the Startup Pitch competition, but I think we need to introduce a prize for the most interesting question as well. And I think for the moment it's all centered around here, so please do ask our pitch competitors questions. It's your chance to learn more about their startups. With this, we are moving to our next contestant, and this will be Dmytryshyn. Let's welcome them on the stage.
All right, thank you very much. Dmytryshyn is a Danish-Ukrainian company that has the mission of providing force protection to the FIBA zone. The FIBA zone is the forward edge of battle area, which is a highly contested area in the battlefield. And two of the main problems that we're trying to address here is mines and UXO contamination of the fields. We have this phenomenon of idle ambush drones, which hide behind bushes and then wait for their targets to come. And this is all on the background of a highly contested electromagnetic spectrum. The solution that we provide is a detection system called Blue Eyes. It is basically an inference system that is based on a drone, and it will automatically detect the mines and UXOs on the ground. And this will allow commanders to find safe pathways through the FIBA zone for logistic missions, for troop movements, and this will allow to have troops safe on the ground. We have delivered 20 of the Blue Eyes systems to the front lines. We're expecting 500 deliveries over the next year, and it is constantly tested there. It is based on humanitarian demining, so we have the largest data set of mines in Europe. What is the market size? The system falls into this category of mine detection systems, which is an impressive market size of around 6 billion in 2025, with a 7% annual rise in the size of the market. We're aiming at 10 to 15 million in 2027 to grab that. We're doing that on good traction that we have created already. So we had a funding round last year, seed funding round. We're looking at an impressive order intake potential this year of 12 million. We have generated a lot of traction with the Ukrainian MOD, with the Danish Ministry of Defense. We are looking to partner with big defense primes so that we can leverage that as a sales channel. And that brings me to the team. I'm very happy to be part of this quite exciting founders team, 4 Ukrainian founders here, serial entrepreneurs, lieutenants from the Ukrainian Armed Forces, which have been already delivering to the Ukrainian government, so they're really experienced, they really know what they're doing. I'm trying to bring my experience from the European market and the NATO countries here to further expand that. And one very important point is that the team, the engineers are based in Denmark, but mainly in Ukraine, and it is pretty essential to be on the front lines with the troops there to keep up with pretty crazy innovation times of 2 weeks, which are there. Otherwise, it would not be possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's open up the Q&A.
Thank you for the presentation. How are you tackling the problem of no one wants to pay for demining? It's really difficult to get customers apart from Ukrainians. We see the problem in the Balkans. Large parts of territory are still mined, and governments simply don't have the money to pay for the demining there.
Right, so what we've seen here is the military variant, and it is used in the battlefield, so that is being paid. The humanitarian demining part, where we come from, we offer a 10x improvement in the demining speed and cost of the demining, and we hope that this will open up a lot of markets that are currently not accessible.
And what about your competitors? Because demining is a hot topic. A lot of teams are working on this. What is your advantage? Who are your main competitors so far?
The demining is, we have big incumbents like Docking, for example, a Ukrainian company that has heavy machinery, and this heavy machinery is really like very cost intensive, 2 million per machine. It is very difficult. If they run over a mine, it will still be destroyed. Our systems are low cost, they can be distributed very easily, and the biggest moat we have is the AI inference model. We have 500,000 annotated pictures of the mines. We have a field, we have different soils that we have tested it in, and we have a pretty high detection rate of these mines. So that is our main moat that we bring into the competition.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question about the product complexity. So the first question is about the crust, the highest or the green area, which is the problem for the identification of the mines. Second question is about the materials of the mines which you could identify, especially for the plastic part. And the third one, that's about your traction with communication with brigades, because usually you have a demining constantly, so how you connecting that with the mapping, because usually that's not very actual information. So what about these three challenges?
I'll answer that question later.
Fantastic job, Bjorn. Thank you so much. Great job, guys. And we are moving forward with the next startup. Let me welcome to the stage Improve.
Okay, hey everyone, my name is Andreas. I'm in charge of business development here at Improve. And the title really says everything that it is that we're doing: captured, cracked, counted, copied, protecting embedded software and edge AI models from reverse engineering. I guess I don't need to set the scenery too much for you. You guys all know that software and AI, of course, is really the differentiating factor now on the battlefield. That is why, however, your AI models, the software that you put in there, is actively targeted by the other side. They try to get, like, physically the hands of the drones to reverse engineer it. Therefore, we have to protect it. And this slide, we explain what it is that we're doing. So basically, we are a binary rewriting tool. Why is that? Just in a nutshell, a hacker would attack the drone, takes out the firmware, and this is the binary, the ones and zeros. And there are open source tools like Jira, released by the NSA, where they can easily get back to the source code, and once they know the source code, they can copy your software or they build countermeasures. What do? Improve Nix is a binary rewriting tool, so we use the binary as an input, and out comes a hardened and protected binary, which is great because therefore we're literally the very last step in the development. We have minimal memory overhead, which distinguishes us from the competition, usually in the range of 10 to 20%, but if necessary, we can literally count bits, we can do like 3% or whatever. The more, of course, the better. We can also ensure functional safety, so your binary looks different, but the functionality is 100% identical, which nobody believes, but that's the case, and therefore we are ISO certified. We have the ASD, which is the highest functional safety certification in automotive, and our product right now literally is in automotive brakes, And I guess you can imagine a brake has to work 100% of the time, anytime you push it, hopefully. It's a universal solution, so both for defense and civil application, and it works on virtually any embedded device, regardless of the hardware. So we software-only solution. In a nutshell, what is it we protect? We protect your IP, we protect your algorithms, we protect cloning of your devices, like theft of your software, and we're working on, and this is interesting for investors, we're working on the actual AI model protection, so really protecting the weights, the actual weights, which are the value in the AI. We protect cracking if you have a license check, key theft, and if you have vulnerabilities in the binary. Since we harden the entire binary, we can also harden these. I don't have time to go into details what it is that we're doing, but most importantly for you, the solution is pen tested. So we regularly check it from both private and public institutions to really make sure that what we deliver is high quality security, and you just don't have to only rely on our word. Yeah, and finally, the value proposition. I hope we are a great technology provider for anyone virtually who's doing valuable software, and in defense, of course, software that the other side should not get into their hands. And as investment opportunity, we are well funded for this year, but in 2027 we want to go to the A round. We both need it for agile model development and for scaling up. So we have good use cases, but we're still a bit unknown in business, and definitely need to. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andreas. If you have questions, please do raise your hand so our speakers can see you and you grab a mic.
Thank you. Quick question from the tech nerds. Do you run the protection on a centralized algorithm that counteracts like the opposite systems, or do you have a decentralized network where different systems check each other to make sure nothing sneaks into your backend as well?
So basically, what it is, our solution, we ship it in a Docker container, right? So it's kind of air gap, and we just ship it to our customers so that they don't even have to send out binaries to us, right? And so the tool itself is kind of protected. Yeah.
Can you tell us more about the traction you got with any early customers or design partners, and how did they think about the value when you were communicating to partners?
Right. So for example, we signed earlier last year with an automotive customer with an innovative braking system. It's an electronic brake only, and they know that as soon as they ship it to the customers try to steal it. And this is kind of the value that we protect, right? So they lose millions of dollars or euros or whatever, I can't disclose the name, and therefore this is an example like automotive, but also sensors, even innovative sensor, you name it. It works for any embedded software in the market.
You mentioned that the market also defines devices, so it's all the question about identity management, because we have a very short term for identification. What about your identity solution? Identity management solution. So when you identify that this is the kind of users with a certain rights, how they access next time?
Oh, basically what we do is, yeah, we at the moment we don't charge per device. We just have a license fee per project. If you have one project, one sensor, you pay a license fee, and then you can send it.
Closed system.
Exactly.
This is super. Okay, thank you.
This is dual use. How big is market outside defense?
It's actually, we believe it's bigger actually than defense. We also came mostly from the civilian side, so we started in defense about 6 months ago with our first drone use case. And the market size, I mean, I can just give you a random number on the internet, like every year companies lose X billion dollars because of hacking.
Thank you, Andres. And we have a volunteer who's here a little bit too early.
Am I?
Yes.
I am so sorry. I thought I walked up to them.
Trying to get two spots. Thank you so much. So now we are moving to Baltic Aerospace Systems. Let's welcome to the stage again.
Thank you so much. My name is Yevgen, and I would like to present the startup we are currently developing in the kill chain. So actually it's part of the group. We are a group of startups, and this one is aimed at providing the detection solution, and this one is to develop the sensors that will be integrated into a multi-sensor solution working inside the kill chain at the very first stage, which is the blue one, the detection, and will also be complemented besides the C2 systems with the effectors, and one of the companies in our group is working on the kinetic effectors that are already present at the battlefield in Ukraine. So basically, what challenges are we addressing with the solution here? It's complementing the optic systems that are detecting the targets, namely the low and high flying Shaheds that presents the key threats to the critical infrastructure in Ukraine and also military infrastructure. And we are also complementing the radars. We do it with the acoustic sensors. So basically, the word drones is coming from the buzz they have been created. So these sensors that we have developed and are currently testing are reacting, discerning that buzz, classifying it, and turning it into the command and control solutions. So we are capable to track low altitude. We are capable to detect small targets that presents the key threats. The ranges, we are aiming at the very short air defense range solutions. So we aim actually at the range of 5 to 7 kilometers in reality, where we can discern that sound and classify the target, which gives 2 to 3 minutes lead time for the kinetic effectors, like the interceptor drones, to intercept the target. We are mountable, those sensors are mountable at the mobile platforms and could also be used stationary. In fact, we are currently testing both at the battlefield in the south of Ukraine. As far as the market is concerned, it's if in Ukraine, it could be hundreds. Well, I've given the big figures of 14.5 billion.
Well, maybe someone will ask you a question about that.
Yep.
Let's open up with a Q&A.
Thank you for the talk. So you're a group of companies.
Right.
How does that work?
Well, actually, this one is a company with a separate set of investors and shareholders and team. The other companies that we have in the group have similar shareholders. So there are some shareholders that are same, and the engineering team differ from company to company. Here we have 60% of engineers in the team.
What about the traction?
Sure.
The traction, what about the traction? So what is the situation now with the startup, with the product?
Currently, we are at TRL 6 with our product because it's currently being tested. Its experimental model is being tested on the front line. So it's TRL 6, and we are now looking for funding to codify the product, test it, and then scale up.
And in terms of testing it on the front line, have you gotten feedback, and if so, what worked and what has not worked?
Right. We are getting constantly the feedback from the air defense brigades, and also the land forces specifically. The key takeaway is, and that's actually what we are also doing, is to miniaturize the device, because we are currently providing the solutions for the defense against the Shaheds, but what the battlefield needs is applying the same principle for defending small tanks, APCs, etc. So actually, we do have the request to miniaturize from the front lines.
Thank you, And I feel that most of our speakers, they stay there, so I'll move here to this part of the audience so you guys don't feel lonely. Any questions? Well, save them for the next speaker. And yes, I do stretch the time a little bit because I'm here to invite our most impatient competitor, most impatient participant, Babari. Let's give a round of applause.
As a Ukrainian, it frustrates me deeply when something of great value can be so easily broken. I hate it. And that's how the idea of Babai was born, to protect assets that are under attack. Hi, my name is Roman, and I'm CEO at Babai. We are developers of drone collision avoidance systems for both aerials and space vehicles. Here, on this video, you would see right now the attack of one drone against another. Basically, our expensive aircraft is being attacked by a dirty cheap attacker. One of our clients have lost $5 million. Another one have lost 11. This is a huge problem, and we are solving it. Next slide at the moment. We are solving it by setting up our software on the aircraft and connecting it to the cameras that are scanning behind the aircraft and seeing the attacker. When we see it, we detect it, we understand what it is, how fast it's going, and then execute an evasive maneuver. And we are running away until our attacker is running out of battery. Why are we winning? Because we are cheaper, we are more cost effective, we are lighter, and we're more energy efficient than our competitors. Right now, we have already achieved Tier 9. We are selling our solution to both drone manufacturers and military in Ukraine. And we're gonna go to Babai Pro, which is scaling up the solution to VTOLs and multi-rotors. And finally, we're gonna go to space with our solution called Babai Orbital. Essentially, we're doing it in fast-growing, multi-billion market. Our business model is B2B and B2G. We are offering on board licenses for each aircraft. Here, essentially, you can see one of our competitors in that table. And right now, I would like to show our traction. Currently, we have already 20 clients. We have 10 fully integrated systems, and we got 60K in revenue in the last several months. We're doing that all with the goal to achieve $1.5 million of revenue in the year 2026. Our team consists of 3 founders, 10 PhD level experts, and 4 advisors in both space and academic field. And we are asking for 1.2 million in investments with a current goal of 500K, all with the goal to achieve the revenue of $1.5 million in the year 2026. If you're interested, follow me on LinkedIn and join us. Join us to secure the sky and space of Europe. Thank you so much.
Let's open up to the Q&A. And guys in the back, please do raise your hands so our speakers can see you.
Can I shoot?
Try.
Thank you for the presentation. I've asked the same question, I've asked Vika the same question in Lviv. How are you going to make it into a 5 billion company? How are you going to make 500 million in revenues in the next 5 to 7 years?
Thank you so much. That's an amazing question. Essentially, we are planning not only to sell it towards the drone manufacturers and aircraft, although that's a pretty huge market, because we're selling essentially a license per each aircraft, and the manufacturers are developing thousands of those, right? So our license costs at the moment $1,000 per each aircraft, and you can see like the mass is quite big here. But not only that, we also collect the data. We also understand what exactly is needed in order to insurance companies to pay less premiums for the later usage of their drones. So essentially, we're going to tackle that market as well. And finally, the space market with space collision avoidance, where we see the potential of billions of dollars of revenue, essentially. That's basically, yeah.
I have a tricky question. It seems to me that you are growing exponential because it was mentioned that in your pitch deck you have 7 integrations, but you said 10 integrations. Yes. 15 customers, 20 customers, so it seems to be that we are running late. How come?
Yeah, so I just recently, last week, we signed 3 more deals, essentially.
Oh,
right?
got it.
So it's, it's growing quite fast. The integration time is, we have minimized it, so it's like takes 1 week essentially for each aircraft. So, business is going pretty well.
So it requires some physical integration, yeah? On
Yes,
board.
of course. So basically, our software runs on a board compute that is connected to the, pilot, essentially, autopilot of the aircraft, and that's how it works.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great progress. So just would like to ask the question about the targeting system. So is it your targeting system now you utilize? Targeting system.
Targeting system, not sure what you mean by that. We're not doing any offensive solutions, we're completely defensive. That's why we are dual use company, so nothing like that. But however, we can tackle that market as well in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Would you like to stay for the next stage as well?
Yes, of course.
So, do you remember the very first pitch? We had Soloma, Avionics, and they brought their own products, so it's still here. Then Roman showed us a video. I'm wondering what the next presenter will do. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Panoptis AI on the stage.
Hello, my name is Volodymyr and I'm presenting Panoptis AI. So what we actually do, what problem can we see? Hundreds and thousands of autonomous drones, and we understand that drone can be printed on a 3D printer in some apartment, and it can appear everywhere on this map, so not only on borders, everywhere. And what do we need? We need to identify it. And the only way, one of the only ways to identify it is visual identification, because autonomous drones don't have any radio frequencies or something like that. So we have already built a solution, and this is completely our own solution, so it's China-free, made by us with all the details we need, and it can cover the range around 200 and 300 kilometers in frequency layer and about 5 kilometers in visual layer. So the product is absolutely ready. It has TRL 8 at this moment. It has been tested on a battlefield. We have official documents that prove that we are useful for the battlefield, and we have already made 3 devices which are using on the battlefield, and we have order for 40 devices at this moment. And also we are in the process and testing of laser integration. So I understand that if we see the drone, it's one problem, but we need to eliminate this drone. So we are working on the integration with laser stations and also with interceptors. So also we have our partners who are making acoustic and radio frequency sensoring, and we can provide a complex solution. We also have our own software, which is connected with different kinds of military softwares via APIs. And so at this moment we are building this kind of ecosystem of drone protection. What about our competitors? We do have them, of course, because you can make a model and you can give your data set. But what we have unique, we have data set of 2 million entities which we made by our own hands and our partners' hands. And I think nobody in the world don't have it because we made it in a Ukrainian battlefield. We have a quite strong team, and also the market is huge because you can understand that every power station, every railway station, every airport or something like that needs to be protected from the drones. We are raising 1.8 million to sell our software and our solution because it's already made. Thank you very much. I'm ready for your questions.
Thank you. I keep hearing that there are so many questions in the back and I simply don't see them. So let's start with someone there. No? Okay. All right. Specifications about laser.
I think it's more technical question. I we can connect to each other. What I can say that it's not typical laser, it has a wide range, so it blinds the drone more effectively than like the small line of laser.
And you're talking about laser interceptors?
No,
laser targeting.
Laser gun that blinds drones, yeah.
How do you anticipate the countermeasures? You put this in the field and it works, and then they're going to come up with something to try to be camouflaged or avoided in some way. How do you anticipate that?
You mean, we have ground stations, we have mobile stations, and all our stations are connected via mesh network. So if some of our stations identify the drone, we can follow it through all the battlefields. So for example, we can cover all the border of Poland, Russia, and all the border with Estonia, with Russia, or some other options. Even the border of Mexico and the United States, if we have enough budget.
Can you spot low-flying drones?
Yes, and we do.
Hello.
And you go ahead.
At this moment, it's 90,000 if we are talking about complex solution, and 45,000 if you are talking about only visual part. It's software plus hardware part for one unit.
So you manufacture your own hardware, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any dependency in supply chain from Far East?
A bit, but like for 80% is our own manufacture.
Does the dependency could be replaced?
Yeah, if we have enough budget, yes. But I think this is the next level because at this moment we are focusing on scales and business development.
Thank you. Wow. I was just about to say that this is supposed to be a pitch competition, but there was a competition for questions. And our next speaker is from travel. Let's welcome our next startup.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, I think we will introduce the new nomination, the longest deck ever. This is the one that we are experiencing right now.
Lucky that I didn't do that. My name is Pierre. I'm going to stand here. Representing Treble Technologies, an Icelandic company, 5 years old. We have 35 people. Acoustic simulation data are clearly our expertise, and we are actually fundraising. When talking AI in a defense context like this one, we most likely mean physical AI. And there, the interaction of machines and systems with the real world, historically, vision has been the way to sense, the sensing layer. We mean that there are other dimensions, mainly sound clearly for us, which carries also rich physical information about lots of things. With the right tools, you can create applications that are extremely powerful in defense, whether it's detection and awareness, localization, classification, or communication. We've realized a proof of concept quite recently. We had the chance to cooperate with a company in drone detection, and we could prove that we increased the accuracy of localization of adverse UAS in urban environments, despite of the reverberant character of the settings. So AI models are there. They exist. They just need to be trained. The big challenge is training. We have two options there. Real-world data, meaning recorded, which can be very expensive, dangerous to collect, or simply impossible. Or the other way is synthetic physical realistic data. And that's where we come in. With our Treble SDK, consisting of solvers and algorithms that will simulate how sound propagates in the space, or interact with devices, with materials, etc., at different scales. We also offer or integrate in the platform data preparation, So the data is made ready for funneling to machine learning pipelines, and that at any scale. All this behind a Python interface, which enables multiple endless configurations and setups. I would claim that our infrastructure is ready. More than 150 tech companies already use our technology. You have them on the right. And just come to me to discuss either pilot, POC, or even investment. Thank you.
Very impressive, thank you very much. So I understand correctly that you're producing synthetic data for training acoustic models.
Correct, yes.
Then I absolutely need to connect you with one of our founders and potentially discuss investment as well.
Okay, have a pleasure.
Can you tell us more about some of the other use cases outside of...
The other use cases, I can take one. Training of assistants like Alexa. You have to make sure that Alexa will understand your voice in any configuration, wherever you are in your apartment, etc. To do that, to prepare Alexa for that, you need to expose Alexa, with the algorithm, to multiple, endless number of configurations, potential acoustic ambiances, etc. To do that, either you go to rent apartments, rearrange them, etc., and record, etc., or you generate that synthetically. So that's a typical example that we gone through.
What is your business model? So how you earn the money in that kind of?
We are a SaaS company, so we sell license and we sell tokens, meaning the runtime, the GPU time it takes.
And do you have some defense models? I mean, if you rent them an apartment, as you described, and if you are teaching Alexa to understand you, so did you rent some range and teach some models to define shoots or drone sounds?
The only experience we have in defense so far
is
the example I showed, the book we realized. Yes.
Gotcha.
So we've not taken that step yet.
Gotcha.
Yes? Ultra frequency, we're not there, we're in the audible range, but why not? This is based on the same laws of physics, so yeah, potentially yes. That's it.
Well done, Pierre. Thank you. Have you already noticed that we are past almost more than half of the startups? Time really flies. And I would like to ask Leo, do you already have a winner in mind? Oh, good, good, good. So 3 more startups, and ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite here our next speaker, Roman from Babai. I'm just kidding. For sure, for sure. Let's welcome here Dmytryshyn. Where is Dmytryshyn? They went somewhere very deep. Pierre, where are you keeping them?
Send Roman. He has 20 integrations so far.
All right, thank you, thank you. Then I would like to welcome here our next speaker, Roman from Babai, not really, but it will be a bit of a surprise. So let's jump to our next speaker from MindGuard. Bench, please take the stage. We'll have to scroll through the slides and we'll get to you. Thank you. The Dmytryshyn owes you.
So, I can just roll. It's not even my slides, but it's fine. I don't have slides anyways. What does it take to heal a nation? You know, Europe is very focused, of course, of the hopeful end of the war and afterwards the rebuilding of Ukraine. The problem is that we're mostly focusing on infrastructure and buildings. You know, building schools, very important. But how do you actually make a child grow up well? By making sure they have a stable family at home. How do you make a building actually functioning? By filling it with people that are filled with hope. WHO diagnoses already today 9.6 million Ukrainians in need of mental health support, 3.6 million cases of severe issues like PTSD, and another 15 million that will hit the country once the war is over. Right now, people are very agitated, you know, adrenaline is hitting, you're pulling through, you just wait for the war to end. But once it's over, things set in like regret, frustration. Why did I have to experience this? Why did I lose all this time? Why did I lose my leg? And that's when the PTSD cases are going to suffer. The big issue, PTSD leads to suicidality, alcoholism, domestic violence. Fundamentally, if you want to rebuild a nation, you need to rebuild the resilience and the mental space of people. I myself am a neuroscientist and psychologist by training. Afterwards went to do AI research in Google and Amazon, and now dedicate all my time to address exactly this crisis that's coming for Ukraine after the war, namely the mental crisis. Very importantly, a lot of companies, they're trying to use chatbots or something like this to actually heal PTSD, which doesn't work. First of all, people who experience PTSD, they struggle with verbal communication, which makes a chatbot very unfitting. And second of all, it's a deeply biological phenomenon. It's cortisol in your blood, your nervous system is overcharged, and you can't stop anymore even after stress ends, and your body keeps having the flashbacks. So how do you fix this? You gotta work on the body. What we're building is not a chatbot, what we're building is AI deep analytics on the biological level. You can upload in a hospital your blood data, your medical data, wearable data, your personality test to the model, and it will figure out what's your individual path to healing. It's going to generate a highly personalized plan for you, working with your body, sleep, exercises, with breath work, to calm your system and get your focus back under control. I ventured over to Ukraine. We did 32 interviews with people in hospitals, with psychiatrists, doctors. Based on that, we developed the system. And most importantly, what came back from these feedbacks, we asked the people what they're most needing. It was physical components, it was sleep quality, but it was also financial and social components. And so what we're building now, we've built a donation system where people can put money on a blockchain and people can get that money once they completed their resilience training program. So you take care of your body, you take care of your mental health, and in return you get donation money that are on the chain. You get double the money if you actually do the exercises together with another veteran. Because the number one thing that kills soldiers is isolation, and by nudging them through the monetary awards, they actually do build a social peer network that protects their mental health. And so we get people in with the financials, we keep them engaged with the highly personalized health AI, and afterwards we nudge them towards friendship for the sake of giving families a stable father.
Thank you, Benjamin. Let's open up to the questions and we'll give you an extra time for improvising.
Thank you so much, thank you.
Can you tell us about the business model?
Sure. So fundamentally right now we have the luxury of being backed by two very generous billionaire families. So we currently are not in lack of money. Of course, for Ukraine specifically, we first want to get the ball rolling. Afterwards, I mean, there's two business models. One is to create a SaaS model for hospitals or for the government, right? If you can drastically decrease suicide, depression, alcoholism in the nation, I mean, that is on the Ukrainian Health Ministry roadmap. The other one could be you take like a very short cut, like 0.1% on the donation money that institutions put on the chain. Let's say a build health insurance company, NATO or European Union, they put a few millions there, we take a 0.1% cut. I have a strict preference for the SaaS model rather than the donation cut model. Let's see. The other option, of course, if you manage to treat PTSD of people that have gone through hell, it's very simple to also use this for burnout prevention or for in general resilience in the private sector. So that could also be a play. And last but not least, we also cannot just only cure PTSD with the system, we can also use it for pre-deployment. So, you know, sharpening the focus of soldiers, making them physically stronger. So there's a dual use component here as well. We have our clinical trials in April. So in April, we have a hospital in Ukraine where we test the software. And if we're found to be successful with Ukrainian Health Ministry, we then start scaling up across the nation.
Maybe we have some questions in the back.
Yeah, I've got a question here.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, I started off doing this in Ukraine, although I pivoted to defense tech after 3 years. There's a lot of us who've been doing a lot of PTSD, so I have a joint venture with the Ministry of Health and Ministry of Education, where we're trying to train an adult in every single school in Ukraine. But it's a charity, right? So I have a charity model, and there are lots of other people in Ukraine doing this not for profit. And I'm just sort of curious how you're going to deal with the challenge of doing something which is great. All this is great, and it would be a great tool, for example, for us to use. But it's I think you're trying to create a business out of something that, for me, in essence, is a charity.
I love what you're saying. So basically, I would say our first use case now is a charity character, but I mean, if you think about it, training an AI algorithm that tells each user on the deepest level how to optimize their physical and mental health, there's so much uses for that outside of charity. I have a big heart for Ukraine, so I do this right now with a very charity mindset, but obviously, once the system is functional, once it's running, you can integrate with wearables, you can optimize your body. Every CEO in the world wants this. Every soldier in the world wants to upgrade themselves to become superhuman, right? So there is a lot of applications.
Yuliya, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we are back with our program, and but even looks like, guys, we are running even ahead of time. So well done with the timing. So I think now we have a chance to take a deep breath. Close your eyes for just 10 seconds while I scroll back through the slides. Yes, that was my trick. And we will continue with our next contestants. So how many do we have left? 2. Very well done. What about Roman? Are we counting him again? All right. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome to the stage someone from the deep keep.
Happy to be here. I'm Dmytryshyn. I'm responsible for the European market. So DeepKeep provides AI security for and privacy and trustworthiness for any kind of AI model. So the Gartner said in less than 2 years, more than 50% of the enterprise will have AI security platform to secure their AI application and services. This is exactly what DeepKeep provides, a end-to-end platform to secure the AI application. So we start with model scanning to make sure it's safe for use. Then we deliver AI red teaming to identify vulnerability. And then we provide AI firewall with guardrail, specific and customized to face the threat and the attacks like jailbreak, hallucination, denial of service, prompt injection, and so on. And we go further to the pre-deployment. We go also to agentic and AI ends to have the behavior of the AI system and so on. So key differentiator, we are the only multi-model vendor. It means that we can provide AI security on text, LLM, on the video and image, computer vision, and combine. And this is key for defense sector. We are also the only one to provide context-aware natively. Context is key in AI to understand the context, and you can integrate your own dataset in our platform to make our AI security more accurate. We support natively multi-language support, and we are agnostic in deployment with cloud, on-prem, and air-gapped. And this is extremely important in government and defense sector, and we are end-to-end. So drone and a use case you can see here on the left side, the system to identify drone works perfectly well, and on the right side you see an AI attack with a lead to bypass. And then the system has been manipulated, we fix it. We have also, we provide synthetic data from the day to the night, or we can simulate snow, fog, or object in movement because to improve the model robustness. And this is key here. You can see that DeepKeep provide validation on both on digital validation and physical validation. This is unmatched on the market today. To conclude a word about the company, we are worldwide, we have presence in Europe, and Europe is a strategic market for us. The company has been founded 4 years ago by 2 PhD serial entrepreneurs, and I'm happy to answer to your question.
Do you have any solution for anti-propaganda, so anything like that?
Again,
anti-propaganda, do you have to, if it is like a propaganda coming through the ML, so can you identify that?
We didn't make this kind of use case, but of course it could be something we can cover, because when we have evaluation or POC with a customer, the feedback from the ground, when the customer go beyond the slideware and make to evaluation, they give very good feedback, and they say we are much more advanced than all the company they evaluate. So I think this use case could be covered as well.
In that case, how big your market is? How you evaluate your target market now?
Our target market, first of all, European market is strategic for us. And defense sector is more than 40% our target. So this is key. And we also target utilities, industry, and energy sector, and also the banking and the insurance. Because there are a lot of use cases with the fraud uses multimodal, combine text with LLM and computer vision. For example, in insurance, there are a lot of fraud and use cases in this way. Any other question?
How do you ensure the AI model is safe and secure to use?
Again, please.
How do you ensure the AI model is safe and secure to use?
First of all, the company don't develop their own model from scratch. They use from the ecosystem. So the starting point is the model scanning. We scan the model to make sure it's safe to be used. And then we go to the AI red teaming and then to the AI firewall. Does it make sense? Any other question?
My favorite question, do we have questions in the back?
Not yet.
They're saving it for later. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Thank you for your energy. I don't know about you guys, but I think as it comes to pitch competitions, it's always extra tough to be the first one and the last one. And we are reaching the point to get to listen to our last speaker, the last but not least. So let's give him a warm, warm welcome, Anko Vayar.
Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Florian Barbaro and I will present my startup. I will give you a bit of context why I did this. So I was working on a governmental project in US fighting Russian and COVID disinformation and on social network, and I understood that more and more people were using Gen AI to propagate disinformation. And why this is really important for military to know which content they are using, because as of now we can see a lot of contracts signed between MOD and LLM provider. The problem is that your enemy can defeat you without shooting one bullet. Why? Because of data poisoning. Most of LLM provider, Mistral, ChatGPT and so on, most of the time does not have a clue about which data they are using to train their model. Second point is fake truth movement. If you follow information in Africa, for example, there is this image was taken in Mali, and they were saying like Russian is providing resources to the Malian government. This is a generated image, and it's spread all over the web saying like we are strong, Russia is helping us. Ukraine faced the same problem when they were fighting for a village. And the third one, and one which is really important, it's disinformation. Because you can have the best army in the world technologically, but if the population is not following you, no one will go to fight. And so it's really important to know if your contender is propagating some disinformation. So the main question here is, how do you protect decision making when data, signal, and narrative are under attack? And to do so, we created our solution for detecting Gen AI content. So we create our own model based on mathematical model. So this model are really light, can be deployed everywhere on CPU, light laptop, and so on, can be deployed even on battlefield hardware. They are easy to adapt to new type of media and new language without training or fine-tuning. And we can deploy in a broader type of application here for civilian Teams, Zoom, WhatsApp, but some other audio transcription. And it's available on the web app, on premise, and so on. As of now, we have 4 products. One is to detect text, one for image, voice, and video. And why it's really important to know if the content is human or real is because your adversary can take care of your data and fight you without a bullet. Thank you.
And the last Q&A for today, so take your chance.
Can I go? Thank you for your presentation. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, sorry. The problem with this, you're always playing catch up. ChatGPT develops a new model and then you have to adopt. And I believe we're nearing the point of singularity when no one on the planet will be capable of telling if it's AI or not. What are your thoughts towards this?
So I think it's the same problem about virus, antivirus. When people invested in antivirus solution like Bitdefender and so on, they were saying, we have labs who are running everyday new solution to attack this antivirus, but they just keep the run. And for example, if you take the case of LLM, structurally, they did not change so much from the first paper, which is all you need is attention in 2017. The main difference is that you add some extra layer and change some mathematical function, but the core is the same. And so you will still be able to do it.
Okay. As always, what about money? Did you earn something? Did you raise some funding? What about this?
So now it's fully bootstrapped, and we got multi-grant from the French government. We are working in Africa and Europe. Europe is the most challenging market because there is a huge lag in understanding the risk of deepfake. But a lot of US and ASEAN banks are really interested, and yes, now we are implementing multi-bank and shipping company, because as soon as you do business in other countries, especially in India, South America, most of the business is through WhatsApp, and a lot of people will contact you with the voice of your CTO, your CEO, and so on, asking, bro, can you do a wire transfer? It's urgent. And we help them protect against this risk.
Laurent, thank you so much. I'm not sure whether you're gonna win the competition, but you definitely won me over with your memes. That was great. Ladies and gentlemen, and we're getting to, and now a couple more slides, so please do ask him more questions in the break. And we're getting to the end of our pitch competition. So 11 startups. Leo, so now do you have a favorite? Great, don't tell us just yet. 11 startups were in front of you today, and I think they all deserve a round of applause. Thank you guys, thank you founders. If you would like to learn more about them or have their contacts, around the room you will see that there are some papers with QR codes that lead to a startup brochure, so you can find out more about them. But now, my dear audience, it's time for you to do a little bit of work. Remember I told you that we have a special prize, audience choice, so you can take out your phones, scan the QR code, and vote for your favorite startup. I will leave the QR code here, so you have a chance to do so. And if I may ask for another 30 seconds of your attention, it's very important because I will be predicting your future now. So I'm going to tell you what happens next. We will close this session and then you will have a 15-minute break. And in 15 minutes we are waiting for you here and we are inviting you for a panel discussion with our judges who will be debriefing the pitch competition. And after that, we'll find out who the winner is. And we'll find out if Leo was right about his bets. I thank you all for your attention, thank you for your energy, and I'll see you here in 15.